So Brown Ranch will create affordable housing first and foremost by filling the gap between the practical cost of developing supply and what households can afford. So we know that there's a mismatch between those two, and that's a gap that needs to be filled. And so we can do that through a variety of mechanisms. The first is through donated land, which we already have. The next layer of opportunity for us is to receive grant funding and philanthropic funds to pay for infrastructure design, infrastructure installation. We have a very serious confluence of federal funding coming down that's going to help us cover those costs of infrastructure design. The last part is utilizing some of the programs that already exist that we've already demonstrated can deliver housing, like the low-income housing tax credit that developed the reserves, Alpenglow, and is currently developing the Anglers 400 property. So through those layer cake approach of bringing in new resources, we can fill the gap between the practical economics of delivering housing and what our locals can afford. What our locals can afford is a huge range of housing. What that means is that we have folks that make very little income, that have very little means to support rent payments or mortgages, and that means we have a larger gap to fill in those areas, and we use specific programs to make that happen. Others have more income and therefore can support more, and we have a smaller gap to fill. What we know is that every single house that we're going to build out there is going to be affordable to the local workforce, and that's the bottom line. So our challenge moving forward is figuring out ways to fill in those gaps at every different income level, at every different product type.